Winter sports. Events that take place on snow and ice tend to be very fast and always exciting. Top-class skiers can reach speeds of 100 km/h, 63 miles per hour, as they drop 900 m, 2,952 foot. Ice hockey is said to be the world's fastest game, and makes thrilling viewing with its combination of speed and confrontation. In ice skating, the emphasis is on style, grace, and perfect moves performed to music. Snowboarding. Snowboarding is a recent sport, but it has grown in popularity everywhere. Ice hockey. Ice hockey is the fastest team game in the world. It is played on an ice rink by two teams of 6 players on skates. Each player has a stick, and goals are scored by hitting a hard, rubber disc, or puck, into a net. It is a physical game, so players wear helmets and plenty of body padding. The barrier board around the rink keeps the puck in play.
The ice hockey rink is 61 meters, 200 feet long and 26 meters, 85 feet wide. It is surrounded by boards up to 1.22 meters, 4 feet high, which are curved in the corners. Red goal line. This is a wooden barrier board. Gold and face-off circle.
Rules and regulations. Ice hockey. A game is divided into 3 20-minute periods but is only timed when the puck is actually in play. The teams change ends after each period. Between periods, there are 2 intervals of 10 minutes. Each team has 6 players, usually a goalie, 2 defensemen, 2 wings, and a center, but there may be as many as 20 in the squad. Substitutions can be made at any time when the puck is not in play or dead. A goal is scored when the puck is hit into the goal by a player's stick. It cannot be kicked or thrown inches, but if an attacking player is inside the goal crease when the puck goes into the net, the goal is disallowed. Play is allowed to take place behind the goals. Players can stop the puck with hand or body but can only skate with the puck in their hand for 3 seconds. Only the goalie is allowed to fall on the puck to stop play. The offside rule encourages the team with the puck to skate forwards. Once over the halfway line, a player with the puck can only pass to a teammate who is in the same zone. He must not hit the puck forwards to a player in the attacking zone. Instead, the player with the puck must be the first into the attacking zone. Only 3 players are allowed in their own defense zone when the puck is outside it. But a defender can pass to a teammate in his own half of the rink. However, he is not allowed to clear his lines by thumping the puck down to the other end of the rink. This is called icing. Players can body check opponents, as long as the check is made with the shoulder or hip. Body checking from behind is not allowed. At the side of the rink is a sin bin, or penalty box, where players are sent for various offenses. No substitute is allowed for the player sent off, but if the other team scores during the penalty period, he can return to the ice immediately. Famous competitions. The National Hockey League. The National Hockey League is made up of 24 teams, 8 from Canada and 16 from the USA. The league is split into 2 divisions. The top teams play each year for the Stanley Cup. The cup was named after Lord Stanley, a former Governor-General of Canada, and was first played for in 1893. Recent winners of the Stanley Cup, 1996. Colorado Avalanche 1995. New Jersey Devils 1994. New York Rangers chest and shoulder padding. Player's helmet. Outfield player's stick. Puck. Leg protector. Hockey skate. Curling. Curling has been played for centuries in Scotland and is now a popular game in Canada. Curling is like very slow ice hockey. Players take it in turns to slide polished, round blocks of granite, known as stones, down the ice rink towards the target, or house. Teammates can sweep the ice path of the stone to try to affect its direction and speed, and to help it along. Curling used to be played on frozen lakes but is now mainly an indoor game. Rolling stones. The oldest curling stone is in Scotland. It is known as the Stirling Stone and has the date 1511 on its side. Rules and regulations. Curling. Curling is played on a rink of ice, 42 m, 138 foot, long. At either end is a target house, made up of 4 colored circles. The outer ring has a diameter of 3.66 m, 12 foot. There are also 2.44 m, 8 foot, and 1.22 m, 4 foot, rings. The center circle, known as the T, is 30.48 centimeters, 12 in, across. The two T's are 35 m, 115 foot, apart. Situated 10 m, 33 foot, down the rink at either end is a line called the hog line. The standard stone weighs 18 kilograms, 40 pounds, and is made of granite. But the Canadian stone is made of iron and weighs 27 kilograms, 60 pounds. The stone is held by a handle fixed into the center. Curlers wear odd shoes. One has a sole which can grip the ice, the other a sole that slides on it. The object of the game is to get the stone as near as possible to the tee. Each stone from one team which finishes closer to the tee than the opponent's nearest stone scores a point. Matches are usually played over 10 ends, or heads, the winning team being the one with most points. Play starts from a foothold, or hack, at the back of the rink. Each player sends down 2 stones, taking turns with his opponent. The players can stay in contact with the stone as far as the hog line. From there, they have to let it go, and that is when teammates can start sweeping the ice with brooms. They may sweep ahead of the stone as far as the tee. Beyond the tee, the opponents can start sweeping in an attempt to help the stone out of the house. Stones which do not finish inside the house do not score points. Also, any stone which does not reach the second hog line is removed from play. Skiing. Alpine skiing consists of 4 events: the downhill, the slalom, the giant slalom, and the supergiant slalom. All of the competitions take place on steep, downhill slopes. Downhill racers ski down in the fastest time possible, on a steep course which can have a vertical drop of as much as 900 m, 2,950 foot. Slalom racing. Slalom racers weave through pairs of flagpoles, placed to test their skiing skills. Downhill racing. Downhill racers reach speeds of up to 145 km/h, 90 miles per hour. Rules and regulations. Skiing. Alpine events are raced by one competitor at a time, against the clock. In the downhill, each skier has only one run and the fastest time wins. In slalom competitions, there are 2 runs, the winner being the skier with the fastest total, or aggregate, average, time. Downhill courses can be up to 4,500 kilometers, 3 miles, long for men. Women's courses are usually shorter. A slalom course is shorter than the downhill but has between 50 and 75 gates through which the skier must pass. The gates consist of spring-loaded poles fixed into the snow in pairs and positioned around 5 m, 5.5 yards, apart. The skier goes through red and blue gates alternately. Any competitor who misses a gate is disqualified, unless he goes back to take it. The giant slalom has longer, rounder turns through wider, double pole gates. The less common supergiant slalom, or Super G, is a cross between slalom and downhill. Famous competitions. The Winter Olympics. The first ski races were held in Norway in the 1850s, although alpine skiing didn't become an Olympic event until 1936. The International Ski Federation, FIS, was founded in 1924. There are now 5 disciplines in Olympic alpine skiing. Alpine combination, downhill and slalom, downhill, giant slalom, slalom, and supergiant slalom. Winners of the most Olympic skiing gold medals, 3. Tony Saylor, Austria, 3. Alberto Tamba, Italy, 3. Jean-Claude Killy, France, 3. Vreni Sknida, Switzerland, the World Championships. The World Championships were first held in 1931. Since 1950 they have been staged every 2 years. Like the Olympics there are 5 events, combination, downhill, slalom, giant slalom and supergiant slalom. The 1995 World Championships were cancelled because there was no snow. Recent winners of the alpine combination left parenthesis 1993. Men. Lask Jess, Norway, women. Miriam Vogt, Germany. Goggles. Padded glove. Salopettes. Ski boot. Skis. Poles. Other skiing events. There are many different types of skiing competitions, from cross-country skiing to the fastest of all, speed skiing. This event is known as White Fear because racers travel at well over 150 km/h, 100 miles per hour, down a mountain. Freestyle skiing is a combination of skiing and gymnastics. The biathlon competition mixes skiing and shooting. Ski jumping is often the most spectacular, as skiers fly through the air, taking off from great heights. Ski jumping competitors ski down a slope and then take off. They must jump with style and land perfectly for maximum points. Rules and regulations. Ski jumping. Ski jumpers take off at full speed from high ramps and fly through the air as far as possible before landing on the jump area below. Marks are not only awarded for the length of the jump but also for style. Poor control of the big skis in the air or an untidy landing will all lose points. This popular sport can be dangerous if there is a lot of wind around, as a sudden gust can cause competitors to lose their balance in mid-air. Snowboarding. Snowboarding is a cross between skateboarding and surfing, on snow. The rider's feet are bound to the board, which looks like a short fat ski. Snowboards range in length from 130 centimeters to 175 centimeters, 4 foot 4 in to 5 foot 9 in. There are a number of different competitions, including slalom races, obstacle courses, and halfpipe competitions. Halfpipe competitions are where boarders can perform their tricks, and are spectacular to watch. Fun in the snow. Snowboarding began as a pastime. It has become so popular that there are now international competitions. Rules and regulations. Snowboarding. Like alpine skiing, snowboarders have events in slalom, giant slalom, and Super G, where competitors wind downhill through a series of gates in the fastest possible time. There is also a banked slalom event, where riders have to weave through 26 gates placed in a 180 m, 200-yard, long gully with steeply banked walls. In boardcross, competitors race each other in a series of heats down a course with jumps, banked bends, and slalom gates. The leading riders from each heat go through to the next round and eventually to the final. If any racer deliberately obstructs or bumps another, he is disqualified. Halfpipe boarders show off their aerial skills on snowboards. As in a surfing competition, they are judged on the difficulty of the routines performed, the height of the jumps, twists, and turns, the variety of moves, good style, and smooth landings. Ice skating. In figure skating, solo skaters and pairs, a man and a woman, perform routines to music, on an ice rink. Each performance is divided into two programs, a short, preset routine and a longer, free routine, where the skaters can do whatever moves they like. Ice dance. In ice dance, skaters must concentrate on making their routines fit, or complement, the music they have chosen. Figure skating. The most popular form of ice skating is figure skating. Rules and regulations. Ice skating. International competitions usually take place on a smooth, flat rink 60 m, 200 foot, long and 30 m, 100 foot, wide with rounded corners. Competitors should use the whole of the ice. The blade on a figure skating boot is about 3 mm, 0.125 in, wide and has a hollow groove along the bottom to give the blade an inside and outside edge. The preset program for solo skaters is 2 minutes long. In that time, the skater has to include 7 set moves, including jumps, spins, and gliding movements, or spirals. The free program for solo skaters is 4 minutes for women and 5 for men. The preset program for pairs lasts 2 minutes, during which time the skaters must link 6 particular moves. In the free program, the pairs have 5 minutes to perform spectacular lifts, spins, and spirals together. There should also be periods where they skate apart on opposite sides of the ice and perform synchronized jumps and spins. In international solo and pairs competitions, the programs are marked by a panel of 9 judges, each from a different country. There are 2 sets of marks for each program, one for technical merit, the other for artistic presentation. Both are marked out of 6.0. The preset program is worth a third of the total marks and the free program is worth 2/3. The marks for each program are added together and then adjusted to find the overall winner. Famous competitions. The Winter Olympics. Ice skating was first included at the Winter Olympics in 1908 in England. There was then a gap of 12 years before skating was reintroduced in 1920 and it has remained as part of the Olympics ever since. There are separate competitions for men and women and there is also a pairs event. Winners of the most Olympic gold medals in skating, 3 Gillis Grafström, Sweden, 3 Sanja Hini, Norway, 3 Irina Rodnina, Russia. Speed skating. Speed skating is said to be the fastest sport on 2 legs. In long circuit racing, competitors race in pairs against the clock. This usually takes place outdoors on an oval skating circuit, with a 2-lane track, 400 m, 1,312 foot, in length. Short circuit racing is usually held indoors, on tracks with tight bends. A maximum of 6 competitors race around a 110 m, 360 foot, track. It is a frantic race from start to finish, with the skaters jostling for position. Dressed for speed, speed skaters wear body-hugging suits to cut down air resistance. Their skates have thin aluminium blades. Rules and regulations. Speed skating. A long circuit course is oval-shaped and measures 400 m, 438 yard. There are 2 lanes, each about 4.5 m, 5 yard, wide. The lanes are divided by snow or a painted line. Men race over distances from 500 m to 10,000 m, 550 yard to 6 miles. Races for women are from 500 m to 5000 m, 550 yard to 3 miles. Two skaters take part in each race, traveling anti-clockwise around the circuit. So that neither skater has an advantage, each time they complete a lap, they change lanes at a crossover point on the straight section of the course. Points are awarded according to the skater's finishing time. Famous competitions. The Olympic Games. Speed skating has been part of the Winter Olympics since 1924 for men and 1960 for women. Races are on a 400 m track with the skaters racing in pairs. There are 6 distances: 500 m, 1000 m, 1500 m, 3000 m, 5000 m and 10,000 meters. Winners of most Olympic gold medals in skating: 6. Lidia Skablikova, USSR, 5. Claes Thunberg, Norway, 5. Eric Heiden, USA. Bobsleigh and luge. Steel and fiberglass bobsleighs slide on metal runners around icy tracks. They are steered at high speeds by the driver using cords attached to the front runners. There are bobsleighs for 2 and 4 people. Each team has 4 runs, and the lowest time overall decides the winner. A luge has no steering or brakes. It is guided by the rider's body, which is face up, in a sitting or lying position. The bobsleigh speed can be increased by leaning to make the bobsleigh go into the turns at right angles. Rules and regulations. Bobsleigh and luge. Bobsleigh and luge runs are usually about 1100 m, 1200 yard, long, with at least a dozen bends. A bobsleigh run begins with all of the riders including the driver pushing the sleigh along the ice to build up speed. They then jump into the moving sleigh and set off down the course. The electronic timing for the run begins 15 m, 16 yard, after the start. The whole team, 2 or 4, must be in the sleigh for the run to count. As it is easier to control the bobsleigh with a heavy team, there are weight limits to stop teams from gaining an unfair advantage. For pairs, the combined weight of the team members must not be more than 390 kilograms, 858 pounds, and in fours, the total weight must not be more than 630 kilograms, 1389 pounds. Lightweight crews may add weights to the sleigh to reach these figures. Luge championships are for singles or pairs. The singles make 4 runs and the pairs 2. As in the bobsleigh, the lowest aggregate time wins. The run begins with the rider sitting on his luge and using 2 metal hoops which are fixed into the ground to push himself forwards. He is then allowed to use wire brushes on his knuckles for an extra push along the ice.